Good day, South Africa. Goeiedag, South Africa. The belongs of Africa. Another exciting episode of Survivor. A lot to discuss with. We're just gonna get right to it. Introduce our guest here, Hannes. Hannes, how are you?
Good evening, Lem. I am well, thanks. We had another good episode, so a lot to discuss. Who will get the ball rolling, me or you?
I think I just want to start off by saying I see you've cut your snore and changed your attire once again. I see this is becoming a habit.
Yes, so I've realized once men get older, then hair starts to grow on very strange places. One of them, of course, being your face. So I thought it was a good initiative to, at the end of the month, do a bit of trimming here around my facial hair.
Yes, I also ordered the beer in the mail. They said 6 to 8 weeks for delivery, so fingers crossed it's gonna arrive. There's a lot to get to. I think let's just kick this off. We've got your boys PK and Tevin showing a bromance or title lines early in the episode. What's your take on that?
Again, this has been a bit of a running theme, not only on the podcast but also through the show. I think they have a very strong alliance, the two of them, a two-tank team. I like it. However, I do not think it was appropriate to go to Martinez and to show them who is the boss, so to speak. Really, the tribe, Mindanao, is at a good place strategically. They're winning the challenges. They've just won a good reward. There's a nice tribal cohesion. Why go and tell Martinez, listen here, we are the head boys. We are sitting at the back of the bus, and you are the losers sitting in the front of the bus. Why?
Yeah, I also don't know. I'm used to being one of the guys sitting at the front of the bus. I'm just
sure
joking. No, I think they throw. I also do not see the point of throwing out the apple card. Like you said, we got to get thing going. And I think this brings us to another person in that tribe. Somebody we've not given a lot of airtime, which is Katenka. Up until now, she's almost had a bit of an invisible edit, and now for the first time we see her, she's actually catching fish. She's in the mix, chatting to the guys. So so glad we can see somebody who's been on the background for some time actually make an appearance in the show.
Yes, I think she's probably done with keeping up with the Survivors episode, and now she's decided to step in. And I think slowly but surely she is finding her feet in the game. And if she can, get the right alliances, perhaps with someone like PK and Tevin, she can perhaps make it further than we expected, at least.
No,
so it's almost as if she's only starting to play the game now, and I'm looking forward to see what she brings and what she contributes.
Yeah, in technology we call it a late adopter. I think she's a bit of a late adopter to the game, but rather late than never. Honestly, you touched about this tribe having some good dynamics with a tribe, with the challenges. This first challenge, or it was actually a double or nothing, the 2-for-1 special, immunity and reward. What did you think of this challenge?
I really like the challenge, and there's so much more urgency in the challenge when you know it's for immunity as well as reward.
Definitely.
It brings out really the best in people, but also it's very difficult to compete in this challenge because there's so much more at stake. You really need to concentrate and focus that much more, that much harder. I think it was a great challenge. I think Mindanao again did well. Again, they've got 3 men, all 3 fairly physical men, Martinez, PK, Tevin. They have Annalise,
yes.
They have Katenka, so they have a good cohesion, they have got a good bond, and I think that depending on what the plans are further, I think they're in a very good position.
No, definitely, you touched about it, and just one thing, I just want to go back and say something about Tevin. One of those guys, he's so good with his confessionals. That confessional he gave, and he said, Martinez is like an exam where no matter how hard you studied, you wouldn't have known the answer. That's something everybody who's been to university can relate to, and it's such a good confessional. And I think, Tevin's so good with words, so well done in that puzzle for him, actually driving his team to victory. So good thing going from him. We actually saw the Luzon Tribe once again competing, doing a good job, and actually gaining lead. That the Visayas or Tom's team, they've actually squandered the lead for. This is like a recurring theme. It's like a movie that I've seen before.
Yes. So Luzon, they didn't get out of the starting blocks very well. Actually, they were far behind. I think
they had a bit of a sluggish pace immediately. It looked like they lacked that urgency. Like, there's not a lot of stake on the table for him.
When I first, well, I only saw it once, but when I saw it, I thought maybe they are deliberately throwing the challenge in order to get Josie out.
It would have looked like that. Look, if somebody doesn't say we're throwing the challenge, we don't see it as a throw, so we're not viewing it as a throw, but it definitely looked like they were having a very slow pace to that challenge.
And I think Jean definitely did keep them back in the challenge. However, be that as it may, all is well that ends well. I think Luzon is let's say for me now, the second best tribe, well positioned. A player which I'm glad made a bit of a comeback, if you want to call it that, again, is Josie. Almost like Katenka, a late bloomer. Josie now in the game. She's a lot better positioned than she were. Lem, do you agree with me? Her best game plan now would be to go get an all-female alliance, throw Werner under the bus.
Yeah, I think, look, these guys aren't dumb, they know mergers around the corner. So, I think this was probably the last tribal council we were actually voting for power and strength. From now on, it's let's get rid of the strong players, and that's definitely should be Josie's campaign ad when she runs for Survivor. But I just want to touch on something else you said quickly about Jean. Jean, you're saying she's a bit of a, as they call it, dead weight in that challenge. But one thing about Jean, she's such a, I want to say, comfortable person in the body. She said, listen, I can't change how I look. I can't change who I am. And I think 90% of 85% of people out there feel like this. They feel, I couldn't choose the DNA that my parents gave me, but I can choose or change my personality. And I think that's such a good, if you want to have like a role model in life or a poster for, how to motivate yourself. This was the line in this season of who you should be. It doesn't matter how you look or how you appear, you can be you. And I think that is a great episode for Jean, and I'm very high on her. One of my favorite people, and I hope she makes it deep.
I just want to add to that. This is not some philosophical thing. Philosophical. It's a difficult word, thing. But in life, not only in the game, you don't have any control over what is happening to you. But the one thing you always have control over in life, as well as in the game of Survivor, is how you react to things which happen to you. And Jean, she has a clear, level head. I think she will make it far. I'm just worried that she's not pulling all her weight in the challenges. However, I think within the Luzon Tribe at the moment, she is well positioned. So let's see what happens.
I think a good social game can take a far from this point on. We've spoken about all the people. Touched on Martinez, Steven, Pika, all the people, but now we get to the people actually into Tribal Council. Now, I might be mistaken. I've written it down here. We've got Shanae, Tom, Palesa, and Vusi, I believe, for the 4th time at Tribal Council in 5 episodes. Maybe one of them is a fraud apple, not fraud, the rotten apple in the pack. We won't know. Hannes, what's your take on these 4 guys and their 4th visit to Tribal Council?
Look, I think it's one of these situations where you've got 2 strong alliances both sides, and it's almost this thing like there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Tom is a very strong player. He likes to be a dominant player. What you see is what you get. Then you have Palesa, also a very strong, very dominant player. And I think it's a bit of a clash of personalities. With then Shanae, a bit behind Tom, and Vusi a bit behind Palesa. To tell the truth, I'm not sure. Vusi is also is fading away for me a bit. He doesn't have any strong moves. It's almost as if he's just there, no clear strategy, which I've seen.
It's like he's playing second fiddle to Palesa in this grand endeavor.
Definitely. So I think with Tom and Palesa, 2 strong personalities, 2 very good players up against one another, there will always be conflict. And I think now, I won't say it boiled over, but it's difficult to move forward constructively when there's no cohesion. Again, let's link it with Mindanao. There's a sense of cohesion, and hence the tribe moves forward.
But I want to bring it back to you now. You say there's a lot of clash of personalities, but in the end, these 2 alliances actually said, listen, let's get together, let's vote out Marushka. Smart move, not a smart move? What do you think?
I think it is a smart move. I'll almost say it's a consolidation move, so to speak. Palesa could have maybe went for Shanae, because she knew that Tom had the idol. Everyone knew Tom had the idol, for that matter. But they said, Marushka is in the middle. She's
Look, I
not
just
finding
wanna
a
say,
few
we
messing
spoke
things up.
about this earlier. The worst place you can be in Survivor is in the middle of two alliances, because
Exactly.
one of two things gonna happen. Either these two alliances are just gonna vote you out, and you're like, okay, I don't really have a chance. Or what's gonna happen is you're gonna choose a side, and you're not gonna be really as thick or into the mix as those original 4 or 5 or whatever number they had in their alliance. So it's the worst place to be. So I really feel for Marushka. I think she had a lot of game in her. I just think it's just the chips didn't fall on the table for her, the dice didn't roll in her favor, and bad luck for her.
Look,
Yes, go.
look, Lem. It is what it is. Really, I agree with you. She wasn't in a good place. Bad cards, but it is what it is. I think Palesa played it good, not playing an idol and almost making a vote thinking more forward. Now if the 4 of them remaining on that tribe can perhaps make some secret alliance going into a possible merge, and nobody would suspect that alliance because everybody knows Tom and Palesa do not get along so well.
Yes.
It could make for very interesting viewing.
To add to that, what I think Palesa played this excellent because she did 2 things. Okay, the first one, and this is one of the biggest things to do in Survivor, she flushed an idol. Okay, so everybody knew where the idol was. She got rid of it. Excellent move. The second move, which is also very impressive, like you said, it's a consolidation move. So she said, "Listen, I'm gonna vote for possibly the last time, for strength and power and unity over strategic moves," and that buys us some leeway with somebody like Tom and Shanae. So let's say they get to like you have to expect the mergers coming some point. Let's say, for instance, just argument's sake, we're just throwing ideas around. Tom makes a bit of a jury. He doesn't like the people at the end. He's gonna be like, "Yeah, that one time Palesa didn't vote for me, so I'm gonna give my $1 million to Palesa." So, good move for her. She solidified an alliance which didn't actually exist, brought these people together and got rid of an idol. Great gameplay on her side.
Yes, I think actually on that point, she was my player of the week.
Is she the player of the week for you?
For me, definitely, and I think at the moment she's probably the best position to at least make it all the top 5. She has an idol which she can always play at a later tribal council. She should not stuff it up now. I see at least the top 5 for her.
So you don't have PK or Tevin or one of those guys in your alliance, even though they have got this great bromance going on?
Well, they're in my top 5 still. I say for the moment, I think it'll be, PK, Tevin, and Martinez. No, I'm only joking. Definitely Palesa. Martinez won't be.
I know we're just bouncing on this right now. One thing I want to say about Tevin and PK, if you get somebody in Survivor who says, "Listen, I'm willing to go to the end with you. I've got your back 100%." Dude, you just have to lock into that 100%. I mean, how many of these successful duos have we had? We've had Steven Fishback and JT, running the game right up until the end. We've got Tony and Trish, running Survivor up until the end. So if you get that one person who says, "Listen, you and I, like the 2 of us, we're bros," that's quite good. So I agree with you. I think Palesa had a great episode, but I think Tevin and PK, yeah, they're really onto something, and they definitely can make a deep run in this game.
Can I give an opinion here?
You may.
I agree with what you say.
Giving opinions.
Okay, thank you. You're so kind this evening. So I agree with you. PK and Tevin position very strong, and I think they should make it to the top 5, and I certainly hope so because I had PK as my winner pick. However, having a strong 2-man alliance and you can carry it far forward in the game is great. But don't flaunt it. Don't go to Martinez and say, "Listen, we are the cool guys. You are out."
They should just be smooth and discreet about it.
Be smooth. If you've got a beautiful girl with good moral values, they're scarce, they're hard to come by. You don't go to the shopping mall and flaunt her and give her to everybody. It's the same thing here. Keep it close.
Definitely. And we got to touch on next week's episode. So we saw that tease where they said, "Listen, next episode, 2 tribes going to tribal council." I'm excited about this. The previous episode, we have some disagreements with production about what they should have done, and they've let us know what their opinions of that are. This is what I would say is a good tease. I would suspect,
yes,
bring it back to Survivor, I suspect it's 2 tribes going to tribal council at once. It's a big curveball for those players of God, and because we had a season with a lot of cross-pollination and strong bonds, we saw like Tony, when she was removed from, a tribe shop, she was crying. That means she actually had bonds with his people, and now these new
Of
bonds
course.
are forming. Josie fitting in with these new people. Tom and Palesa, reconciling the differences. I think it's going to be a mixed tribal council with 2 tribes going, and that also makes for some dynamic fireworks. So I'm very excited for next week's episode.
It should really be a cracker. It's actually a pity that we only have this every 7 days. I think it should be very interesting, and one needs to think, when will there be a merge? So there's a lot to look forward to, and now it's almost that point where you say, maybe you play less for your tribe and more you think about an individual game. Who are stronger players within the bigger sense of the word, and weaker players, so as to eliminate the stronger players earlier, and the tribe as it stands now take a second fiddle. Of course, Palesa and Tom, like you said, reconciled their differences. They now all for the tribe for the next, say, 3 to 5, 6 days, maybe going forward. We have a lot to discuss next week as well, and actually, Lem, next week should come.
I also want to just fast forward my life. Not really, I've got stuff to do, but it's also exciting. No, definitely, I think a lot of stuff to look forward to, and I think this is the point in time where the physical people actually, that becomes lower, and the people with a good social game pick up. So you're going to see people like John, people like Vadney who can actually organize in lines, maybe Annalisa with her cooking skills, those kind of players. So this is the time when you'll see them rise, yes. Okay,
definitely.
So, any last words, Hannes, before we tie a bow on this?
I think we had a good one, Lem. If they want to find me on Twitter, the people know by now, at JHLerm. It's spelled Lerm. And then I think you'd probably also have something to say about our YouTube channel, Lem.
Yes, so you can find us on YouTube, but you can also listen to this podcast on iTunes. A lot of you, I know, are culprits who just do YouTube, but you can actually go iTunes, download it, put it in your podcast section, and just drive to work and listen to it. But if you don't know how that works, you go to YouTube at DissectWithLem, you'll find it there. Subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, 2 things happen. 1, you get, no, that's not 3. 2 things happen. 1, you get notifications when new podcasts get up, and 2, it makes us look cool, so we get more people, and we got stuff to brag about. Yes, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can get me at _lem, or if you're English, at die_lem. And be sure to like this video, subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.